For years, Windows had been my default operating system. It came pre-installed on almost every computer I owned, and like millions of other people, I never seriously questioned it. Sure, there were occasional frustrations with updates, performance slowdowns, and software issues, but I had grown used to them. Linux always seemed like something designed for programmers, system administrators, or tech enthusiasts who enjoyed spending hours in a terminal. Then one day, I decided to challenge that assumption. I completely removed Windows from my main computer and replaced it with Linux for 30 days. Going into the experiment, I expected a lot of compromises. I assumed I would constantly run into compatibility problems, spend countless hours searching forums, and eventually find myself counting down the days until I could reinstall Windows. My goal wasn't to prove that Linux was better or worse. I simply wanted to see whether an average modern computer user could realistically live with Linux as their primary operating system in 2026. The first surprise came during installation. Over the years, I had heard stories about Linux installations being difficult and requiring technical expertise. Instead, the process was incredibly straightforward. I downloaded a beginner-friendly Linux distribution, created a bootable USB drive, and followed a graphical installer. Within less than an hour, my computer was fully operational. In some ways, the installation felt cleaner and simpler than setting up a fresh copy of Windows. When I booted into Linux for the first time, I expected something rough around the edges. What I found instead was a polished desktop environment that looked modern, professional, and easy to navigate. The interface felt familiar enough that I could immediately understand where things were located. Applications launched quickly, menus responded instantly, and everything seemed surprisingly refined. It didn't feel like an alternative operating system. It felt like a mature platform. One of the first things I noticed was how fast my computer felt. The same hardware that occasionally felt sluggish under Windows suddenly seemed more responsive. Boot times were shorter, applications opened faster, and multitasking felt smoother. At first, I assumed this was simply because of a fresh installation. However, as the days passed, the system maintained that speed. There was no gradual slowdown and no sense that background processes were consuming resources unnecessarily. The software installation experience also surprised me. I had expected to spend hours hunting for applications across various websites. Instead, Linux provided software repositories and application stores that made installation incredibly convenient. With just a few clicks, I could install web browsers, media players, office suites, communication tools, and productivity software. The process often felt safer because software came directly from trusted repositories rather than random websites. Of course, no experiment would be complete without testing daily productivity. My workflow includes writing documents, browsing the web, managing files, attending video meetings, and handling basic media tasks. To my surprise, almost everything worked immediately. Modern web browsers performed excellently, Office applications handled my documents without major issues, and video conferencing tools functioned reliably. Most of my daily activities happened inside a browser anyway, which made the operating system itself less important than I had expected. The web browsing experience was practically identical to what I had on Windows. Websites loaded quickly, streaming services worked properly, and browser extensions synchronized without problems. Since so much of modern computing revolves around cloud-based services, many tasks were platform-independent. Whether I was checking email, using productivity tools, or watching videos, Linux handled everything effortlessly. Another area where Linux impressed me was updates. On Windows, updates sometimes felt disruptive. There were moments when the system wanted to restart at inconvenient times or install large updates unexpectedly. Linux approached updates differently. Most updates were fast, transparent, and under my control. I could decide when to install them, and the process rarely interrupted my workflow. This gave me a greater sense of ownership over my computer. Privacy was another interesting aspect of the experiment. Modern operating systems often collect various forms of diagnostic and usage data. Linux distributions generally take a different approach. I felt more confident knowing that my system wasn't constantly sending large amounts of telemetry information back to a corporation. While privacy may not matter equally to everyone, it was reassuring to know that I had more control over my data. File management also turned out to be easier than expected. The Linux file system structure initially looked unfamiliar, but after a few days, it became second nature. Organizing files, accessing external drives, and transferring data worked smoothly. In fact, many operations felt simpler because there were fewer distractions and less unnecessary complexity in the interface. Then came gaming, which I expected to be the biggest challenge. Historically, gaming has been one of Windows' strongest advantages. I assumed Linux would struggle here. However, the gaming landscape in 2026 is very different from what it was years ago. Thanks to compatibility technologies and growing developer support, many games worked surprisingly well. Several titles installed and launched with minimal effort, and performance was often comparable to Windows. That doesn't mean everything was perfect. Some games still had compatibility issues, and certain multiplayer titles with specific anti-cheat systems remained problematic. However, the gap between Linux and Windows gaming was much smaller than I had imagined. If someone had shown me these results a decade ago, I probably wouldn't have believed them. There were definitely moments of frustration during the month. Certain specialized software applications simply weren't available for Linux. Some hardware utilities were designed exclusively for Windows. Occasionally, I had to search online for solutions to minor problems. While Linux has become significantly more user-friendly, it still sometimes requires a willingness to learn and troubleshoot. One lesson I learned quickly was the importance of community support. Linux users have built one of the most helpful online communities in technology. Whenever I encountered a problem, chances were someone else had already solved it. Forums, documentation, tutorials, and discussion groups provided answers to most questions. Instead of feeling isolated, I felt supported by a large community of users eager to help newcomers. As the weeks progressed, something unexpected happened. I stopped thinking about Linux. During the first few days, I was constantly comparing it to Windows. By the third week, I was simply using my computer. The operating system faded into the background, which is exactly what good technology should do. My focus shifted from the platform itself to the tasks I wanted to accomplish. Perhaps the biggest surprise was how much control Linux gave me. I could customize the desktop environment, choose different software options, adjust system behavior, and tailor the experience to my preferences. Rather than being locked into a single vision created by a corporation, I had the freedom to shape the system according to my needs. That flexibility became one of my favorite aspects of the entire experiment. Another thing that stood out was stability. Throughout the 30 days, I experienced very few serious issues. Crashes were rare, performance remained consistent, and the system felt dependable. I had expected occasional instability because of Linux's reputation among people who have never actually used it. Instead, the experience was remarkably reliable. By the end of the month, I found myself asking an important question. Did I miss Windows? The honest answer was far less than I expected. There were a handful of specific applications and features that I occasionally missed, but for the majority of my computing needs, Linux performed just as well and sometimes even better. The transition had been far smoother than I imagined. The most shocking result wasn't that Linux was perfect. It wasn't. Every operating system has strengths and weaknesses. What shocked me was how outdated my assumptions had become. I had been judging Linux based on stories, stereotypes, and experiences from years ago. The reality in 2026 was completely different. Linux had evolved into a polished, capable, and practical operating system for everyday users. After 30 days, I realized the biggest barrier preventing many people from trying Linux isn't technology. It's perception. Many people still view Linux as complicated, intimidating, and unsuitable for regular users. My experience showed the opposite. While there is still a learning curve and some compromises depending on your software needs, Linux is far more accessible than most people realize. So, would I recommend replacing Windows with Linux for 30 days? Absolutely. Not because everyone will switch permanently, but because the experience challenges assumptions and reveals how much the desktop computing landscape has changed. Whether you ultimately stay with Linux or return to Windows, you'll gain a new perspective on what modern operating systems can offer. And, like me, you may discover that the results are far more surprising than you ever expected.